Hello students, and welcome to part 2 of comparing real numbers. In this part, we will learn the steps for ordering numbers from least to greatest and do one example. The steps for ordering numbers from least to greatest is to first convert your real numbers to decimals. Second, identify the smallest number in the set. Third, identify the next smallest number remaining in the set. Fourth, repeat step 3 until all the numbers are in order. Let's look at an example. In this example, we are going to order 5 numbers: 8 squared divided by 4 squared, the square root of 10, 3.63, which we like because it's already in a decimal, 1 divided by 8 times 5 to the negative 2, and 2.125. So our first step is going to be to convert the 3 here, here, and here, which are not already in decimals, to decimals. Let's begin with 8 squared divided by 4 squared. If you look at the exponents, they are both positive, which means they are in the location in which they're simplified, numerator or denominator. We also know that 8 squared is equivalent to 64, so we'll write 64 over, and that 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. 64 divided by 16 is 4, and if you didn't know that, you could do it on the side of your paper. So we now know that this expression has an exact value of 4. Our next number is the square root of 10, which we also need to convert to a decimal. We know that this is between the square root of 9 and the square root of 16. We know that the square root of 9 is 3 and that the square root of 16 is 4. So the square root of 10 is 3 point something, or 3 in some fraction. The difference between the square root of 9 and the square root of 10 is 1 digit. The difference between the square root of 9 and the square root of 16 is 7 digits. So we have 3 and 1/7. If we divide 7 into 1, 7 does not go into 1 because here's our whole number. 7 goes into 10 once, which is 7. There's 3 left over. Bring down the 0. 1 goes into 30 4 times, which is 28. 2 left over. It's got one more place. 7 goes into 20 2 times, which is 14. So this is about 3.142. And when you're comparing more than two numbers, it is nice to go out more than one digit because another one may have the first same 10th column. So now we know that this is 3.142. It's about 3.12, and that this is equal to 4. Alright, we have one last expression to simplify. We have 1 divided by 8 times 5 to the negative 2. Well, when you see a negative exponent, you know that it needs to move from the denominator to the numerator. So this expression is the same as 5 squared divided by 8. We did not have to write the 1 because 1 times 5 squared would just be 5 squared. Now we know that 5 squared means 5 times 5, which is 25, divided by 8. So if we divide 25 by 8, 8 goes into 25 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. There's 1 left over. Bring down to 0. 8 goes into 10 once, which is 8. 2 left over. Add a 0, bring it down. 8 goes into 20 2 times, which is 16. So this is about 3.12. Now we know the decimal equivalents for each of our 5 numbers. This is about 3.12, this is about 4, and this is about 3.17 or 142. We also know these values as well. We are now finished with step 1. We've converted them all to decimals. Step 2 is to identify which one has the smallest value. When you're trying to identify which one has the smallest value, work from left to right in the place values. First, look at the whole numbers. So we have a whole number of 4, a whole number of 3, a whole number of 3, a whole number of 3, and a whole number of 2. So which one is the smallest value? The whole number of 2. 2 is less than 3, 3, 3, and 4. So our first number in our ordered set is going to be 2.125. Okay? Now, look at the remaining numbers in the set and find the next smallest. Now, if we look at the whole numbers, we see 4, 3, 3, and 3. Now 3 is smaller than 4, so now we have to decide between these ones, which one is the smallest. So now instead of looking at the whole number column, let's look at the tenths. So we have 1/10, 6/10, and 1/10. We know that 1/10 is smaller than 6/10, so now we're down to these two as the next smallest. Go out to the hundredths column. 400ths, 200ths. Which one is the smallest? 200ths. Now we will not write 3.12, we're going to write the original amount. So the next smallest amount would be 1 over 8 times 5 to the negative 2 power. Now, look at the 3 remaining in the set. Whole number wise, we have 4, 3, and 3. So one of these two is the next smallest. Look at the tenths column, 1/10 or 6/10. 1/10 is smaller, so we'll write the square root of 10. This is our third smallest number. Now look at the last remaining two. Whole number of 4, whole number of 3. A whole number of 3 is smaller, so put 3.63, and last are 4. That is how you order a set of numbers from least to greatest. To summarize what we've learned, here is a chart, and it shows you the 3 things we've learned: identifying a location of a real number on a number line, comparing two amounts as greater than, less than, or equal to, and ordering numbers from least to greatest. It also puts all the steps in one place for you.